Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jackie and this is Jackie is Making, a place where I talk all about the knit garments that I'm creating. And today I'm kind of just hanging out with you guys. I'm remembering my amazing weekend that I had this past weekend. It is my favorite weekend in Wisconsin all year round because I always, by always, I mean last year and this year. On Friday, I go to the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show, and on Saturday, I go to Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. And so it's just like a maker's dream because I started off going to all the quilty fabric things, and then Saturday, it's all straight yarn and sheep and everything. So yeah, I thought today I would kind of take you along with me a little bit. I definitely got some more footage at Sheep and Wool than I did at the quilt show, so I'm gonna start off by taking you through that and just giving you a little fun montage of everything that happened at that show. I'll put some timestamps up here in case you just want to see the quilt stuff or you just want to see the sheep stuff. But yeah, I just have a little bit of a montage there for you so you can see some of the yarns I saw, some of the fiber I ran into, and then of course a little bit of the sheep. And then I thought maybe I'd show you some of the things that I purchased at both of them. So after that montage, I'll just have up some of the things I purchased, be talking through that. I'm gonna start knitting, and so after that montage, we'll be knitting together and just talking through some of my purchases and all of my memories from this past weekend. If you are new here and you've never been on my channel, I typically do a weekly podcast where I'm talking through all of the things that I'm making. So if you haven't been here before, be sure to subscribe and check those out. And let's just jump right into it. Well, it's here. It's officially Sheep and Wool Day. I'm so excited. I'm sitting here. I have like 5 more minutes before my friends get here. We're all gonna carpool together. I'm pretty excited because it's only like 60 degrees today in Wisconsin. When I woke up, it was 43 degrees outside, and the high today is 64. So we all get to wear our sweaters, which is, what kind of luck is that? It feels so lucky. It's only the second weekend in September. Next week is gonna be like 85, so all of us are just so excited to actually wear our sweaters today. And we'll see, maybe we'll have to switch out of them midday, but pretty exciting to get to wear them. I'm currently working on the Zipper Sweater Light by Petite Knit, and I'm working this up in a farm yarn. This is a zipper sweater that I'm making for my husband, so that is what I will be knitting on as we're sitting here today. Gotta get myself untangled, but I'll show you guys a little progress. It's kind of cool how it starts taking shape with that collar. Okay, so to start off with, I'll talk to you guys about what you just saw, the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. This is a festival that happens in Jefferson, Wisconsin, and I have some friends in the Madison area that I got to go with. A couple of us met in a local yarn store here at a sweater making class, and a few of the rest of us kind of met on Instagram, and eventually we created a big group chat, and a lot of us like to go to like coffee shops and breweries and knit together, so we definitely wanted to go to Sheep and Wool together. And I was kind of reminiscing on the drive there and just like getting a little bit sappy because I kind of realized that last year when I went to Sheep and Wool, I went all by myself and I didn't even know how to knit yet, you guys. I went because I had scheduled a beginner's knitting class for myself. I think it was a couple weeks after Sheep and Wool last year, and so I had heard about the festival, and I wanted to go to like see what I was getting myself into a little bit and to just have like a beautiful crisp fall day. So yeah, I went last year by myself, and it was just fun to like reminisce with my friends and just like feel so grateful for all of the things that I've knit in the past year and all that I've learned, and like the friends and the people I've met along the way, including all of you guys following me on here. So yeah, it was kind of a really special thing to think about. So we took multiple cars, took a couple cars, and we drove down there, and it's set on like fairgrounds, and it's kind of broken out into different spaces. So there's a couple of spaces that hold a bunch of classes. I mean, everything from knitting to spinning to weaving. There's even like basket making. I think there's rug making, yarn dyeing, like a whole slew of things. I didn't sign up for a class this year, but I think that's something that I would be interested in the future for sure. And there's like campgrounds, like people will even camp all weekend just to go to the festival every day. It's super cool. But so yeah, so there's the buildings that have the classes, then there's two huge buildings that have all of the vendors. So there's kind of like 4 blocks of vendors, like through these large barns, and then there's like a whole bunch of livestock, like sheep, kind of waiting and being shown throughout the whole show, and then of course there's like food carts. So yeah, we kind of decided first we were going to go through and look at all the yarn, and then we were going to wait to make our purchases until after. Of course, that didn't work out totally. There was a couple of us that like, you just gotta buy it. Like, what if it sells out? And there was a couple of things like that. Like, a bunch of us really wanted the vendor, the Sheep and Wool, like the logo sweatshirts, and they were completely sold out already by Saturday. And the event went till Sunday, so that was kind of surprising. But yeah, we looked at yarn. We like took some breaks to go look at sheep, and then I had my first corn dog in forever. It was amazing. And kind of geared back up, we actually got to have like a little bit of knitting time in the middle. So one of the partners that I work with, a local yarn dyer, Evergreen Fiberworks, they had a little like knit meetup. So we went back to our car and got some lawn chairs and sat around in a big circle, and I got to meet them and just put our feet up and knit for a little bit. Since I had been on my feet for the quilt show and then this, I was like, already my feet were hurting so bad. So I was super grateful to just like get a break and knit. I mean, it's crazy how overwhelmed you can get by color. And I never know if I'm like truly an introvert or an extrovert. I always say that like I recharge in an introverted way, but I definitely like being around people. I find energy from people as well. Um, but yeah, it's you feel drained after 2 days of shows like that where you're around such big crowds of people. But I also felt like I was just so overstimulated, like the amounts of colors, and you're just trying to process and take in and make smart decisions. It's just, yeah, it's kind of a lot. But so anyways, so we did that, went to that little knit space, and I did want to say thank you to a couple of you guys came up and said hi to me, which like that is brave. I learned later because I later on in the day I saw James Watts and Jessie made designs, and I wanted to go up and say hi so bad, but I was like, all of a sudden I got stage fright and scared. It was like a celeb sighting and I couldn't do it. And I think what it was is it was the end of the day and I was just like, oh, like I don't know. I just like I got stage fright. So I didn't say hi to them. So it made me realize, okay, the couple people that came up and said hi to me, it kind of is like it's a little scary. So I just, I like as a announcement, like if any, you guys ever, if anyone in the whole world ever recognizes me in public, like please come say hi because it does feel really special to get to meet people. And like yeah, it made my whole entire weekend that those couple of people did that. So you know who you are. Thank you so much for coming up and saying hi. It made my whole it just made me smile so big and reminded me that our little knitting community is it's so big but it's also so small and you can like touch people through a screen. It's just super super cool. So yeah, so that was really fun. And onto my purchases. You can see maybe behind me that is just the elephant in the room right here. I knew going into it, I told you guys last week that I had wanted to make a purchase of getting a sheepskin. And I was thinking about it, didn't really know if I wanted to fit it into my budget. Like, I am trying to be a smart spender when it comes to my hobbies. So I knew if I was getting this, then that meant that I would probably purchase less yarn for the weekend. And so yeah, going into it, I was kind of picturing that and thinking it, and I really wanted to have one. I feel so connected to the animal side of knitting, and it's like, to me, it's just such a special thing to be a part of that I feel like I'm getting to like just use every part of the animal. To me, that's really honoring animals in like just how we live and exist. I've always felt like it's just like a responsible part of being a consumer of anything to respect it and to kind of like honor it in that space. So like you can see up here, we have a deer. My husband and my husband loves hunting, and I grew up with a hunting family, and we kind of believe like if you're gonna hunt, then you're gonna eat the animal. And like I know every time my husband is hunting, he always like makes sure to like pray over the animal, thank the animal, and we like eat it and like are grateful to that animal. And yeah, it's something that's important to me. It's definitely a value of mine. And so if I am using an animal's wool, and I want to be like mindful of like the whole entire experience. It's so cool thinking of like the sheep on local land, and even just like in the United States, like this is our land, this is our animals. If I could ever meet like the farmers or the people that take care of these animals, and then there's certain things with wool that like the quality of the wool will depend on how the animal is treated and how healthy the animal is. And so all around, it's just like I'm thanking this animal and these farmers for taking care of this animal and this earth. Like it feels like spiritual to me, like thanking God for these things that he has given us and that I can then honor and value. So yeah, that's just like a little bit behind my thinking there. But when I feel these pelts of wool, it's like I still get to be like with this animal, and it reminds me of my craft and what I love about my craft. And so yeah, so I kept going around and feeling all these different pelts, and I just wanted to see which one spoke to me. And this one in particular is cool because this is a Leicester longwool, and apparently this is an association that, like, I think that this is like an endangered sheep breed. I'll have to like post some stats on the screen. Um, but they had this just like whole setup. You could really tell that they care about just about this breed and about making it known. And I've never ever felt anything like this before. It's just so bouncy. It's so deep. Like the fibers go this deep. When I stand on it, my feet sink into it and the fibers go above my feet. My cat has been laying on it, and when she lays on it, the fibers stick above her. It's just the depth of it, the bounciness of it. It feels like such high quality. I feel like for the price I got it for, I'm so grateful. To me, it feels like I keep telling my husband, like, this is an art installment in my house. This is, I hope that I can take care of it for the rest of my life, and the sheep can live on in my house. And I hope that by me having it is honoring its life, and all the people that took care of it before me. So it's kind of cool to think about. But yeah, if anybody has any tips for taking care of this at all, I know I've read you can vacuum it, which I'll have to do because of my cat. She loves it. She didn't even sleep with us last night, which never happens. My cat sleeps under the covers every single night. She didn't even sleep with us last night because she was sleeping on this. And my husband like woke up this morning and was like, honey, he was so excited because he thinks she, like, my cat wakes him up like in the middle of the night because she gets in his way, and he's always like, I'm gonna have hip problems later in life because of our cat. And yeah, he's always he loves the cat. He loves cuddling with the cat, like when he's watching TV, but at night he's always annoyed of her. So he was grateful for this. But so anyways, I know I can vacuum this. I know I can use my wool wash on it. And what's cool is, it's a natural fiber. It's like natural hair where you can get it wet and like clean it, like just like human hair. If you have naturally curly hair and you get it wet and spruce it back up, it comes back to life. So yeah, it's very, very special to me. I was thinking last night, like, when I was looking at this, like, what's the thing you're gonna grab if your house catches on fire? I'm grabbing this. I'm running out of my room, I'm grabbing this, and I'm running out that door. That's my current plan. Just in case you guys need to know. It's my current plan. I hope I have this in my house for the rest of my life. So that's that. And then I also got some farm yarn. So this is cool because it is from Crazy Valley Farmers, and this is in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, which is just a short, like 30 minutes from me. And what I loved about this is how dark it is. So they are calling this the color espresso. And this is an undyed yarn. It's a DK weight, and it is a lamb's wool. So from a baby sheep, a lamb. See my little label there. And they were selling this for $24 for 250 yards, which I also thought was a really, really great price. And I told him, I was like, I have been looking for a color this dark all day. I really wanted a deep brown. And but so many of the rest of them have those like other colors mixed in, because if you can see here, a lot of times sheep, even if they're dark, they're gonna have these like gray or white splotches. And he told me specifically he went around picking his fiber that had the darkest bits in it to get this. So that I was really grateful to him for that. Thank you for like curating this so perfectly. I am so excited about this, the squish and everything. It's very, very, very soft, and there is like so much hay in it, which is just like bringing me so much joy. But so this I got in a sweater quantity to make an Eva cardigan. So thank you so much. Actually, a viewer purchased me the Eva cardigan. Thank you so much for my Ravelry wish list. And I'm really excited. After I wrap up, I think my plan is once I cast off one of the current sweaters I have on the needles, this one is going to be cast on. And I'm very, very excited. So yeah, that was my experience at Sheep and Wool, was getting these two things. I got this sheepskin and then I got that yarn, and I'm pleased with my purchases. I'm really, really trying to be mindful in buying yarn that I know I have ideas of what I want to make. And I think the reason I'm doing that currently is because there's so many opportunities to buy yarn. Like, I know there's going to be a shop hop coming up where like the local yarn stores all do discounts. You know, then it's going to be like Black Friday. I'm sure there's going to be sales then. Then there's going to be this and that and the other thing. Like, there's always things coming up to buy more yarn. So when I go into those festivals or any type of store situation, I try to go into it with a mindset that like there is going to be more times to shop in the future, Jackie. You don't have to buy everything. But what I love to do is like get ideas, take pictures. Almost all of these places have online stores, especially the places like Indie Dyers or even like commercial yarns. Like, you can always buy those at a different time. But I love to buy the farm yarns where I know like they either don't have a storefront or it's harder to buy from them online. So that was my purchases from Sheep and Wool. And you know what? I gotta go get my stuff that I got at the quilt show. So let me go grab that. Okay, so then I went to the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show, and I just went for a couple of hours by myself. I kind of like going by myself because then I get to take my time going through everything, but it was crazy. You guys, it was like you could barely even get through every booth. It felt like my only comparison was in Madison, Wisconsin. We have a farmer's market that goes around the square, and you can barely move during it if you go at like a peak time. And that's how I felt at this quilt show. It was like I could navigate around, but a lot of the booths, like they only have 10 by 10s, a lot of them. Some of them have like the 10 by 20s, the bigger. But they were just like, you couldn't even get in because it was so crammed. There's so many people there. So I was kind of choosy about which ones I went into, which lines I wanted to partake in. But one of my favorite vendors is So Hungry Hippie, and they're local to me, but I love supporting them because they carry a lot of their own vinyls. And so it's like easy to sew vinyls. And I love to make like project bags. So I picked up, this is their Comet case. And I've actually made one of these before. She just had these extras. So I wanted to take one. But I like it because the bottom half is a clear vinyl, so you can really easily see your project. And then the top you can just use like a quilting cotton. So you can choose anything from your stash. So I picked up this clear vinyl, and this is in like a starry sort of pattern. So it looks more opaque now when it's in a roll, but when it's unrolled, you can really see through it, and it's just like some pretty stars. And then I got some of her zippers. I've used like, this is probably like my 4th roll of these. I absolutely love these on all of my bags because it's like a neutral with that stripes, but then the rainbow-y just makes it feel kind of special. I love it. And it matches with like any of the quilting cottons I get. So I got those to make some more bags. I was also thinking like I might want to make my friends some project bags. And then I got a little quilt set from Little House Cotton. patterns. And so when I was at that show, I feel like I was trying to find something unique as well. It's like in the fabric space, a lot of the big names have really like taken over. So it can be fun to go to different fabric stores, but what I see happen a lot is like these big brands that I like every single big store is going to have the exact same collections. So it's not always that special, like, and with like the internet, like I can always see which collections are coming out, exactly what they're gonna look like. If I can even get old collections on Etsy if I want to, so it's just, it kind of takes a little bit of the excitement out of the whole thing, to be honest. I can't even imagine how fun it was when you just used to get to go shopping and see brand new things instantly. But I saw this and I immediately, my eye was like, that's unique. And so I talked to the woman that owned it, and she is a children's book illustrator. And so she had some of her books out. And just in the past couple of years, she had started designing fabric, which was so cool. And she designs and gets everything printed on organic cotton. So I loved that. First of all of her little kits came in these like really cute bags. I'm totally going to use these for knitting as well. And then she had, so yeah, all of her kits came in this, and then she had patterns that come with the kits. So this is the quilt kit that I got for the Mod Diamond Quilt by Pen and Paper Patterns. And I've made a pen and paper pattern before, so I know that's a designer that I liked. And I love that she had this little like mock-up, because I could really easily see this is what my quilt was going to look like. Like these are what the exact colors that I was getting. So here is all of my colors. And I felt like I have a basement that's decorated for the Kansas Jayhawks, where the college that my husband and I are alumni at. And so it has a lot of like red and blues in my downstairs. But I also liked, like, I think a couple of these fabrics she's actually named like Christmas, because they're Christmas reds. But it's just like polka dots or arrows. Like in Christmas time, it looks Christmassy because it's like, you could be like, this is like trees and this is a Christmas red, but it's also a little bit more sustainable than that because it's also just a really beautiful like geometric prints. So I'll show you guys all of these. They're so beautiful. They feel really good as well. So I liked that these were, it was just kind of a mod design. I have gotten in trouble in the past that like I pick, you know, all these like animal prints and these like crazy prints, and then I'm like, how the heck am I gonna decorate with this? So I've been trying to pick things that are just like a little bit more geometric in nature and I could just see myself having for a long time. Like I said, this would be cute to have out for Christmas. It would also match my downstairs. If I were to ever have kids or maybe give to like a nephew or something, it looks kind of like a boyish quilt. So yeah, I like to think that through with my purchases as well. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should tell you about the quilt show. I was super happy that I went. I feel like I went a little bit faster than I would have liked to go just because I had plans later in the day, but I was happy. So I think next year I might try to go during like an off time, but yeah, it's always so enjoyable. And definitely more of that like color fatigue. It's a lot. And I will say the only disappointing thing is that some of the vendors kind of, they have like crap in their booth. You know, there's no other way to put it. It's like cheap crap. And you're just like, how, it's kind of just like, why are you here? And there's some of that too at Sheep and Wool, and it makes me sad because I know that there is a long process for some vendors to get to go to these places. Like there's a waiting list, and so I wish that there was a little bit stronger of a vetting process. Like I wish that the people that wanted to exhibit and that were talented small businesses and put their heart and soul into the businesses would get to go instead of some of these places that have just like stuff that looks like a bunch of crap from Amazon sort of thing, you know? Just kind of sad. But yeah, I had so much fun. Yesterday I was so tired when I came home. My feet were like throbbing. I had a headache. It was definitely like, oh, I had a good weekend with how I was feeling. So I took like a full day of rest yesterday and yeah, just sat down and looked at some of my footage and kind of like remembered some things. So all in all, it was super, super enjoyable. I hope that you guys enjoyed getting to hear a little bit of my recap, and hopefully you got to like knit or quilt with me as you're listening. As always, I thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.